Before we begin with this video, there are a few things that must be clarified. The link from Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons is not the same link from A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening. The English version of Harrow Encyclopedia mistranslated the Japanese version, where it doesn't state that this is the same Link. Furthermore, Zelda doesn't recognize Link, as she meets him for the first time in both Oracle games. As Oracle of Ages and Oracle of Seasons are linked games, they can be played in any order, meaning either one is the starting point of the adventure. When you finish one of the games, the other will recount certain events from the past game, changing dialogue and including new cutscenes. Because of this, I will cover Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages separately, mentioning the differences between the game by itself as if you were playing it first, and the linked game as if you were playing it last. I will start with Oracle of Seasons for simplicity's sake, but note that Oracle of Ages could still be the first game to be played. With that said, let's begin with the video. Oracle of Seasons begins with Link riding a horse through Harrow Field, as he feels something calling out to him from within Harrow Castle. Venturing deep within the castle, Link soon found the source of his calling, the Triforce, the mystical golden relic of the old gods, beckoning him to accept his divine quest. With a flash of bright light, the sacred relic transported the young boy to the distant land of Holodrum, where he would be found lying unconscious by a red-haired woman named Din, a dancer of this unfamiliar land. Din took care of Link while he remained unconscious, worried that he might never wake up. Upon regaining his consciousness, Link met with the dancing Din, joined by a troupe of performers from a distant land, of which Impa, the troop cook, was among them. Link was invited to join this performance, and as they danced, Din noticed the mark of the Triforce upon Link's left hand, remarking that he must be a hero with a special fate. As they continued to enjoy themselves, the sky suddenly turned dark as lightning began to strike the ground around them. It is then that a mysterious voice of a man was heard.
Ha 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 ha! I found you, Din, Oracle of Seasons. You hid yourself well, but you cannot escape Onox, General of Darkness.
Suddenly, a black tornado appeared, blowing away everyone from the dancing troupe. Link stood between Din and the tornado, as the voice of the mysterious man ordered him to get out of the way, before blowing him away as well. The tornado then engulfed Din, and took her away to a dark castle high atop the mountains. Din found herself chained up to a large boulder at the center of a room, where she came face to face with Onox. Imprisoning the Oracle of Seasons within a large crystal, the Temple of Seasons that housed the season spirits fell into the earth, causing the seasons to be cast into chaos. Link awoke soon after in a snow-covered field next to Impa, who revealed to the young boy that she was actually the nurse of Princess Zelda of Hyrule, and that Din was the Oracle of Seasons who controlled the forces of nature. Impa was ordered by Princess Zelda to take Din to Hyrule, as she had a vision of Din in grave danger. Wounded and unable to go to Din's aid, Impa entrusted Link with saving the Oracle of Seasons, and told him to go to the Mako Tree, the guardian of all Holodrum. Meeting with the Mako Tree, he was shocked to learn that Din had been captured by Onox, and asked Link to save Din from his clutches. He told Link that Onox had created an impenetrable shadow barrier around his castle, and the only way for Link to break it and save Din was to find the 8 essences of nature: fertile soil, the gift of time, the bright sun, the soothing rain, nurturing warmth, the blowing wind, the seed of nature, and the changing seasons, found within the many dungeons of Holodrum, Gnarled Root Dungeon, Snake's Remains, Poison Moth's Lair, Dancing Dragon's Dungeon, Unicorn's Cave, Ancient Ruins, the Explorer's Crypt, and the Sword and Shield Maze, guarded by powerful monsters under the control of Onox, Aquamentus, Dodongo, Mothula, Goma, Digdogger, Manhandla, Gleeok, and Medusa Head. Sneakily following a Subrotian through a secret portal, Link traveled to the subterranean world of Subrotia, a volcanic landscape where the Temple of Seasons had fallen. It is here that Link would obtain the Rod of Seasons, a powerful artifact capable of switching between spring, summer, autumn, and winter. By meeting the season spirits within the four-cornered towers of the Temple of Seasons, inaccessible without the use of certain tools found within dungeons, Link would restore the rod to its full power, allowing Link to get to previously unreachable areas. After obtaining the 8 essences of nature, Link met once again with the Maku Tree, now much larger than when they first met. With his full strength returned, the Guardian of Holodrum handed Link a huge Maku Seed, with which, combined with the essences of nature, Link would break the barriers surrounding Onox's castle, allowing Link to make his way inside the Dark Fortress. After seemingly defeating Onox, the room began to collapse, and Link fell through the breaking ground, where he was met by Onox, floating mid-air. It is here that Onox, impressed by Link's strength, revealed his true form, a dark dragon summoned from the Dark Realm by Twinrova. After a fierce battle, Link successfully defeated Onox and freed Din from the crystal that kept her sealed, returning the 4 seasons back to normal. With Holodrum's peace returned, Link and Din returned to Horon Village. However, despite Onox's defeat, not all was well. Onox's goal was to cause enough damage to Holodrum to ignite the Flame of Destruction, one of the 3 flames that Twinrova needed to resurrect the evil king, Ganon. Link and Impa returned back to Hyrule, but their quests were far from over, as Link would once again hear the Triforce call to him, and Impa received a message from Zelda that Nehru, the Oracle of Ages, much like Din, was in danger, and so she set out to the distant land of Labrina. The events of Oracle of Seasons during the linked version of the game take place after Link's adventure in Labrina and remain largely the same, but there are major differences in dialogue, as well as new story events and a true secret ending. Having defeated Veran, the Sorceress of Shadow in the land of Labrina, saving Nehru, the Oracle of Ages, Link journeyed back to Hyrule, only for the Triforce to transport him to the land of Holodrum. Meanwhile, the Gerudo Witches, Twinrova, reveled at the fact that Veran's deeds in Labrina caused the Flame of Sorrow to light up, and remarked that when the Flame of Destruction and Despair ignite, they would offer their sacrifice and resurrect the evil King Ganon from the dead. When Link woke up and met Din and the troop, as Link had already met Impa in Labrina during the events of Oracle of Ages, she recognized Link and revealed she was actually Zelda's nurse, the other members of the troop being Hylian knights in disguise. When she returned to Hyrule, she was instructed by Princess Zelda to escort Din, the Oracle of Seasons, back to Hyrule for her safety, as Zelda told her that, in addition to Nehru, she was also in danger. When talking to Din, she already knew that Link was the one who saved Nehru, the Oracle of Ages, in Labrina. After Onox blew everyone away with his tornado, he recognized Link as the boy who defeated Veran, the Sorceress of Shadows, telling him he would not fall as easily as she did. After Onox's attack, Impa told Link that what Zelda foresaw had come to pass, first Labrina and now Holodrum, and asked him to save Din before sending him to meet with the Maku Tree. Link met again with Impa on his way to the third dungeon in Spool Swamp. She was terribly worried, as a homing pigeon told her that Zelda had left Hyrule Castle without an escort, and was traveling alone to Holodrum. Impa and Link then split up to look for Zelda, Impa going to Horon Village, and Link heading up north. Link soon found Zelda captured by a group of moblins, led by the Great Moblin, who ran away upon the moblins' defeat. Zelda then introduced herself to Link, having never met the young boy before, when Impa ran into the scene. Zelda revealed that she had a terrible dream where Link was attacked by a great shadow, and she had to do something about it. To keep her safe, Impa then took Zelda to her refuge. The flame of destruction lit up within the Room of Rites due to Onox's dark deeds. With the flame of sorrow and destruction lit, only the flame of despair remained, and with Twinrova's sacrifice, the light of the three flames would guide the evil king back into the world of the living. After obtaining the Seed of Life from the Explorer's Crypt, Zelda left Impa's refuge. Impa instructed her to come back, but Zelda told her she couldn't stand by while the people lived in fear of destruction, and then headed towards Horon Village. There, Zelda told the people not to lose hope, as hope was the only thing that could lead them to peace. After obtaining the 8 essences of nature, and receiving the huge Maku seed from the Maku tree, the Guardian of Holodrum urged Link to save Din, as with her help, Link could reach Twinrova. It is then that Zelda and Impa appeared before Link and the Maku tree, who asked him to bring Din back safely. After Link opened the barrier, Twinrova appeared before Zelda and shot lightning at the other villagers, who quickly ran away to safety. Twinrova then grabbed hold of Zelda and took her to the Room of Rites, as with the disappearance of Zelda, the hope of the people from Horon Village, the land would fall into despair, igniting the last flame, and, by sacrificing the princess, the witches would succeed in resurrecting the evil king. Facing Onox within his castle, the armored dragon would tell Link that it was too late, as Zelda was already within their grasp, and nothing could stop the return of Ganon. Freeing Din from the crystal, she explained to Link that Twinrova summoned Onox and Veran from the Dark Realm. Their mission was to send the essences of nature and time into chaos in order to give Twinrova the sorrow, despair, and destruction of the people. However, not all was lost, as Link could still save Princess Zelda from Twinrova and prevent the resurrection of Ganon. Just then, within the Room of Rites, the last of the 3 flames began to burn due to the despair of the people, thus starting the resurrection ritual to bring back Ganon. With the combined powers of Din, the Oracle of Seasons, and Nehru, the Oracle of Ages, Link was teleported to the Room of Rites, lair of Twinrova. After navigating through a series of maze-like rooms, Link came face to face with Zelda, lying unconscious on the sacrificial altar. As he approached her, Link was transported to a battleground where he was met by the 2 Gerudo witches. After a long confrontation, Link managed to defeat the Gerudo witches, foiling their rites. However, this did not stop Twinrova. As a last resort to bring back Ganon, Twinrova sacrificed themselves to resurrect the Demon King. However, as they could not sacrifice Zelda in their final rite, Ganon was revived as a mindless, raging beast. With the essences of nature and time at his side, Link managed to defeat Ganon following a fierce battle. With Ganon and Twinrova finally defeated, Link reunited with Princess Zelda as she regained consciousness, who thanked the young hero for saving her life. Suddenly, the Room of Rites began to crumble. Just then, the Maku tree came to their rescue and teleported them out of the collapsing castle, where they were met with Impa, Din, and Nehru. Grateful to Link for saving her, Zelda kissed him on the cheek as they celebrated their victory. Zelda then returned to Hyrule and gazed upon the night sky from a balcony in Harrow Castle, as Link left on a sailboat to train on distant lands. And that were the events of Oracle of Seasons explained. If you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of future uploads. Also, consider following me on Twitter and Instagram if you haven't already to stay in touch. This has been SOCIAL, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!